Okay, so here I am with little Albie, and today we're going to be talking about the garter snake. And, well, as I said, I would do a lot more venomous handling this year, and, well, I already have the garter snake. Well, most people might not know, the garter snake is actually venomous. Up here in New Jersey, we normally have the eastern or the common garter snake. And the eastern garter snake and the common garter snake both have the Latin name Thamnophis certillatus. I'm not that good with Latin, and I have it on my screen. So, now let's start talking a bit more about the eastern and or common garter snake, which are both very similar and both found here in New Jersey. So I can find them pretty much anywhere in New Jersey, yet I can commonly find them near bodies of water, like marshes, bogs, swamps. Any with a permanent source of water is more likely to have the garter snake. Yet they can be found in places very far from water, but I don't have that much luck finding them there. So the common and eastern garter snake, I'm now just going to refer to it as the garter snake or common garter snake, because just how I call them, because they're pretty much the same thing. They normally eat small reptiles, amphibians, frogs, tadpoles, all that stuff. And they also eat, I'm just holding him in here now, he has a bigger cage. I don't have a garter snake, but I do have some of their favorite foods. Rough-skinned newts. Bring him up close here. It's my little red F. And he'd be garter snake food. While I'll talk more about red Fs and garter snakes a little bit later in the video. But I'll give you a basis of the garter snake. It's usually 18 to 26 inches long, but it can get up to 49, and the record is 124 inches. Now that's a pretty big garter snake. You don't often find them that big, but they are a dark colored snake. Around here they often have a checkered pattern, and they'll always have 3 lateral yellow spikes going down them. So they go from the head to the tail, longitudinal, not lateral, my bad. So those stripes are pretty much common on any garter snake. Most species have them. Well, there are actually 35 garter snake species, but most have the yellow stripes. And up here, the eastern and common are often checkered in pattern. So now I'll dive a little bit deeper into the habitat of the eastern and common garter snake. So I often find them in, like I said, near bodies of water, but that's not always necessary. They are most common there, but they don't need water to survive. They are often found in swamps, meadows, grassy environments, and like I said, they prefer moist environments though. But you can often find them, if you're just walking around, you'll find them underneath debris such as pieces of wood, logs, not as often under rocks, but sometimes under rocks. And if they're out, you'll either find them slithering through the leafwork, or, which I have a video of here, or you'll find them up in trees, overhanging water. They're not the biggest climbers, but if it's overhanging water, they might be there. Or they'll just be on the water's edge, ready to swim away every time a predator comes near, or catch a frog or a fish if they happen to see one. So now while I started talking about the diet, these guys are not rodent eaters, which makes them great pets in captivity if you do not like rodents, which some parents don't. I know a lot of mothers don't like rodents. But anyway, beside that, in the wild, they might eat small rodents, even though that's not common. They'll eat frogs, tadpoles, lizards, newts, salamanders, toads, and a lot of species of smaller fish. And that's their main diet. And that also connects to how they're venomous and how they're actually poisonous. So, now let's go into the venom of the garter snake. Not all species are venomous, but the common garter snake is. So the common garter snake its saliva is toxic to small animals and amphibians, but it's not very dangerous to people. The max you'll get is, unless you're allergic of course, is swelling, burning sensation, or just like itchy. So overall, it's not that bad. I've been bitten by garter snakes so many times, and I really don't feel anything at this point. So they are venomous, but not really harmless to people. And for them to get that venom inside of you, they don't have fangs like most venomous snakes where they would bite you, the venom would go through the fangs and get injected into you. They more need to chew on you. I don't know why I'm doing this on my shoulder, but they need to chew on you and kind of dig it in. So it's so you're less likely to have that because they also aren't the biggest biters. They'll throw a lot of bluffs and they'll give a few bites, but they won't often grab on and chew on you. So that kind of ties into the poison. We got the basics that garter snakes are venomous, but not dangerous to people. Now, venomous versus poisonous, a lot of people don't know that, but I'm going to put this simply for this video. If it bites you and you die, it's venomous. If you bite it and you die, it's poisonous. That's the best way to say it. If I'm correct, that was Clint's Reptiles who gave me that saying, and great saying. I use it often now. But, so now let's talk about the poisonous. So, they are poisonous, not naturally, but by what they eat. The Fowler's toad and American toad both produce toxin, which I'll show pictures of the Fowlers and American toads here as I talk about it. And my leopard gecko is climbing down me. Here he goes. So I'll have pictures here of them. And it'll actually it's immune to the poison, pretty much. So if it does ingest a toad or more likely a rough-skinned newt like I have here, my red eft, it will be slower, it will have reduced speed, and it can't thermoregulate as well. But snakes already can't thermoregulate that well, so, but it still does hinder its ability to thermoregulate. So it is pretty much immune, even though it does have those side effects. It won't die from it. But now let's get into it. So when a garter snake will eat a newt, like I have mine here, my little guy. I have him in a bigger bioactive tank, but just for this video, I have him in a little cup. But here he is. He's a poisonous little guy. So if I eat him, I die. So I'll wash my hands after this and be careful with my leopard gecko. So if they do eat him, they won't die, but they will be slowed and all that. And then it can use the poisons of him and become poisonous itself. So garter snakes that eat a lot of toads and red efts are more poisonous than ones who don't. Because if they don't ingest any of the toads or the red efts, then they have no poison and they're completely fine. So that's the main thing. If you're a predator, though, you wouldn't know if that garter snake's been eating a lot of toads or newts. A hawk's not gonna go up and ask, garter snake, what have you had to eat this week? Not gonna happen. So you'll more likely avoid a garter snake knowing that it's poisonous after they've eaten one and not felt so good. So now I talked about the venomous and poisonous abilities of the garter snake. I don't want you guys to be scared of the garter snake. They're everywhere. And they're harmless to people, pretty much. And when I have handled them, they're not that aggressive. When you come up across one, they might be a little bit aggressive. They might send a few little bluff attacks, maybe a few little bites. But in reality, once you start handling it, once it's accustomed to you, which only really takes 1, maybe 2 minutes. For some, very aggressive, it takes like 5 and all that. But really, they aren't that aggressive, and they will quickly get used to you handling them. So they're not going to bite you and chew on you and inject their venom. So don't be alarmed with them. You can just pick them up, move them, completely fine. Please do not kill garter snakes. No snake needs to be killed. They all do not want to have anything to do with you, so just let it be, and it will go away. Same with venomous. Now to get back. But what I found annoying about garter snakes is their musk. When you pick them up, they'll often release this white, foul-smelling fluid, which just gets all over your hands, and it makes them smell all terrible. But they really aren't that dangerous. The musk is just more of an annoyance, and at this point, I've had it on my hands so many times, it doesn't really bother me, the smell. So that's really the main things about the Eastern Garter Snake and the common garter snake. I thought I'd make this video because it was my first snake of the year this year. I have had a bunch of B-roll going over all these of the garter snakes that I found this year and in years past. But here's another little video of the one I've had this year, just so you know the difference. You don't know the difference. It's a garter snake. Anyway, here's this one that I caught this year, and I'll see you guys next time on the next video I have. Hopefully, I'll be out there herping.